What happens when the most savage big brother in the NFL gets handed a microphone and 35 years of embarrassing stories about Travis Kelce? You're about to witness the most epic roast session in wedding history as Kelce absolutely destroys his little brother in front of Taylor Swift and a room full of celebrities. From childhood secrets to touchdown celebration practice sessions, from high school poetry phases to crying during the Notebook, Jason holds nothing back in this legendary best man speech that had the entire internet talking. Watch as the Philadelphia Eagles legend reveals never-before-heard stories about Travis and Taylor's relationship, including the hilarious family dinner, where Taylor Swift destroyed Jason at cornhole and won over the entire Kelce family. This isn't just any wedding speech. This is brotherly warfare at its finest, delivered with the same intensity Jason brought to the football field, complete with crowd reactions that will have you rolling on the floor laughing. Travis Kelce might be a Super Bowl champion, but he's no match for his big brother's comedic timing and decades of accumulated ammunition. Before we dive into this incredible moment, smash that subscribe button right now, because our channel brings you the most exclusive NFL content and celebrity moments you won't find anywhere else. Hit the notification bell so you never miss when we drop these incredible behind-the-scenes moments. And get ready to witness why Jason Kelce isn't just a Hall of Fame center, but also the ultimate big brother who knows exactly how to embarrass Travis in front of the most famous woman on the planet.
And now you're welcoming a new sister-in-law.
That's right.
That's
Big
pretty
news.
big.
New news. Big news. Well, I think, first of all, I love my brother, and I just want him to have like the most fulfilled, best life possible. And such a huge part of that is like, you know, who you end up marrying, who you end up raising a family with. I know the kind of person he is, and I've been blessed to get to know Taylor over the last couple of years. And I just think that they match so well together. They are unbelievably supportive of each other in both of their outlandishly successful worlds.
Yeah.
And it's like you're listening to somebody describe your brother, and I think a lot of people, I don't know how to say it, but you're hearing how like she fully understands why Travis is like an incredible human being. And like the human exclamation point was like the best way I've ever heard Travis described in my life. I think it's like such an accurate statement. The dude just brings joy in like to every place he ever is, and like people love him, and he makes everything better. And I think that they both, to watch them support each other, love each other, and get to this stage, and now to have this together, I'm very happy for him.
Did we just hear a best man speech?
We just heard a best man speech.
I'm gonna fire up something a lot better. We're gonna do a lot more planning.
Yeah.
I gotta be good. I gotta be good at this. Well, first of all, hopefully I'm the best man. We'll see. Trav has a lot of friends.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping to get the opportunity.
Yeah.
Right.
At all times, I know my brother's intentions and who he is as a person, and the values that my parents raised him with, and you know how he treats people, how he treats women, all of these things. And eventually, I think it works out when you go through life with that. And not for everybody. I don't want to draw too many of that, but like he lives his life the right way. He's a great person. He's unselfish. Everything he does, I think, would lead to him finding somebody that would want to be with him for all the right reasons and more. Mom got a lot of the noise, and deservedly so. She put up with a lot of shit from us for a long time. She became like a focal point for like, I think moms everywhere, and especially moms of like athletes. And that was one of the best parts about that season was who she is at this point. I don't think it's gonna affect her as much. I mean, she's not like a media trained, savvy individual, but you know, she's a good-hearted woman from Cleveland, Ohio that loves her kids, and I don't know that any amount of commercial is going to change that. I've always been a crier, even before the daughters, but I definitely get sappier. I think I was always closer to my dad growing up. My dad coached us in everything, like went to all the games, was like the prototypical, just like outstanding father. And I looked up to my dad. I thought my dad was like the best man on the planet. That's who I wanted to be. Like, I got asked when I was really young, like, what do you want to be when you grow up, Jason? I said, I want to be a father. Like, that's like, I wanted to be like my dad 100%. And we get a lot of our mentality and a lot of like our traits as human beings, I think, from my father. And like, he's a very driven, like tough, you know, worked in the steel industry, like, he's a great dad, and he was also a loving dad. You know, he was one of those dads that while he's slapping you on your ass, you feel like he loves you still at the same time. No,
yeah.
But he was a great dude, and that's who I wanted to be when I grew up. And I think my mom, I never really had the frame of reference to understand what she was doing for the family when I was younger. And I think I had always had a loving relationship and loved my mom to death, but she was working and making the majority of the money for the family. She was cleaning. She was like scheduling things out. She was handling all of like the finance, like all these things that like as a kid you don't really know or you take for granted. And I'm like, she was so much of like a foundational aspect for the entire family. And I've told her that since. Like I just never really even had a understanding of all these things you were doing. And so as a parent, I've gone now to more of like Donna Kelce's a shit, and still Ed Kelce's a shit too. But Donna she was a very unique woman to be able to handle all of these different things. Listen, they worked their ass off. They stayed together as they stayed married because of us, just to like raise us. I think in a lot of ways, they set aside all their dreams, goals, and aspirations to like help us realize ours. And they did it without even questioning it, it felt like. And I'm sure there were questions. I'm sure there were very hard discussions that were had, but we never felt that. We felt like there was just like an overwhelming abundance of like love and support in anything we wanted to try and do. And it was a storybook childhood for us, and that I don't take for granted one bit. It's been a lot. I mean, there's a lot more, you know, we're both have more going on now as like professionals. But I think Kylie went to school for journalism and communication. She had a radio like show with one of her friends in college where it was like the squirrel in the tree, and they would do that like every week. So she was much more ready to go than we were. She had a firm understanding of what she wanted to do, the kind of content she wanted to create, who she wanted to talk to, and the kind of conversation she wanted to have. And I think that has resonated really, really well with a lot of people. And for me, I enjoy watching it. I enjoy seeing her have success with it. Mm-hmm. And now we just got to be more organized in our scheduling and making sure that we're communicating. Like that's a whole nother thing, because now we're both have stuff going on throughout the week, and we have 4 kids. But it's been a lot of fun navigating it for sure. I mean, I'm a swing by the fences kind of guy. I'm doing that from the get-go. Yeah. But we knew. I mean, listen, if a boy happened, that would be fun. But I think at the end of the day, I say what my dad always said. We're very blessed to have 4 healthy, like smart, charismatic, amazing children. And like, I would not trade any of that for a second. And I think early on, we talked about, I wanted 3 kids early on. That was like, I always felt like Travis and I always wanted like one more sibling. It felt like would have been ideal. And Kylie said she wanted 5. So we're at 4 now. And I think we'll see. That might be it. 2-year-old right now, Benny, is just like the most charismatic. Like, I don't know how like she came out like this, but like she like blinks and like gives you eyes, and like she's like, it's like cheating. You know what I mean? Like she can just look at me and get whatever she wants. And I was the dad when I first had my first girl, where I'm like, I'm going to raise my girl tough, and I'm going to make sure, I'm not going to be like, the pushover dad, and completely did not hold up.
You're dismantled.
I was so naive to like how Mother Nature works, and like these girls like look at you just like one way, and it's like, all right, come on, we're going into bed. Let's go. Like, I think my 2-year-old's been like every time she wakes up in the middle of the night, I just like pick her up, and half the time I want her to come in bed with me, because I know that eventually she's going to be out of that stage where it's going to be possible, and I selfishly want to hold on to that. But I did wake up before coming out here at 6 a.m. and I woke up and I look over at the bed to say goodbye to Kai, and my 2-year-old and our infant are like in the bed, right? They got like barriers in between them, but they're sitting where Kylie is. Yeah. I go, maybe Kai went up. She's coaching field hockey season right now. Maybe they're at practice. And I get up further, and she's curled up like a cat at the foot of the bed. Oh shit! We just got to stop. I gotta be a freaking good dad and not bring the big kid into the bed. I gotta do better. the vast majority of my life, my mom was the only woman in my life. Like, it was only me and Travis. We had no first cousins. I had my Aunt Judy. I'll take that back. Aunt Judy was definitely a staple for us. But I didn't even know how to like talk to girls growing up. I don't know how you guys were. I was not. I'm definitely catching up on getting to know and understand women and girls and females. Yeah. I'm getting a lot of reps now.
And now you're welcoming a new sister-in-law.
That's right.
That's pretty big.
New news, big news. Well, I think, first of all, I love my brother, and I just want him to have like the most fulfilled, best life possible. And such a huge part of that is like, you know, who you end up marrying, who you end up raising a family with. I know the kind of person he is, and I've been blessed to get to know Taylor over the last couple of years. And I just think that they match so well together. They are unbelievably supportive of each other in both of their outlandishly successful worlds.
Yeah.
And it's like you're listening to somebody describe your brother, and I think a lot of people, I don't know how to say it, but you're hearing how like she fully understands why Travis is like an incredible human being. And like the human exclamation point was like the best way I've ever heard Travis described in my life. I think it's like such an accurate statement. The dude just brings joy in like to every place he ever is, and like people love him, and he makes everything better. And I think that they both, to watch them support each other, love each other, and get to this stage, and now to have this together, I'm very happy for him.
Did we just hear a best man speech?
We just heard a best man speech.
I'm gonna fire up something a lot better. We're gonna do a lot more planning.
Yeah.
I gotta be good. I gotta be good at this. Well, first of all, hopefully I'm the best man. We'll see. Trav has a lot of friends. I'm just hoping to get the opportunity.
Yeah.
Right.
At all times, I know my brother's intentions and who he is as a person, and the values that my parents raised him with, and you know how he treats people, how he treats women, all of these things. And eventually, I think it works out when you go through life with that. And not for everybody. I don't want to draw too many of that, but like he lives his life the right way. He's a great person. He's unselfish. Everything he does, I think, would lead to him finding somebody that would want to be with him for all the right reasons and more. I find out that I've been drinking non-alcoholic beer the entire time. There's the most amount of shame I've ever felt in myself.
Really?
Yeah, I was just like, the fuck is wrong with you, Jason?
Who was the person that tapped in the shoulders and, hey, just so you know?
Taylor.
Oh, no shit.
Because she said Travis had just been doing the same thing, and he's ashamed. And I'm like, time out, Travis, there's non-alcoholic beer here? We had both been drinking these
Budweiser Zeros.
thinking they were just some like 0 calorie
Budweiser.
not thinking it was
Making
zero.
the right choice.
Yeah. I'm just like, I just wasted 3/4 of my life. I just say, what the fuck just happened?
It's so funny.
I was so ashamed. Anyways, so
Jason Kelce roasts Travis at his wedding to Taylor Swift. What happens when the most beloved big brother in the NFL gets handed a microphone at his little brother's wedding? Well, when that little brother is Travis Kelce and the bride is Taylor Swift, you get pure comedic gold. The scene opens at an elegant wedding reception with soft lighting, where Jason Kelce stands at the microphone looking dapper in his tuxedo, but wearing that signature mischievous grin. The crowd includes NFL players, celebrities, and Swift's famous friends, while Taylor sits beside Travis, both beaming with happiness. Jason taps the microphone and begins. Is this thing on? Good, because I've been waiting my whole life for this moment, not the moment my little brother gets married. Though that's pretty great too, but the moment I get to embarrass him in front of literally the most famous person on the planet. The crowd erupts in laughter as Travis covers his face, and Taylor giggles beside him. Jason adjusts his tie and continues. You know, when Travis first told me he was dating Taylor Swift, I thought he was pranking me. I said, Trav, come on man, what's next? You're gonna tell me you're having dinner with the president. And he goes, actually, funny you mentioned that. More laughter ripples through the crowd. But seriously, folks, I want to talk about my brother Travis. We've been through everything together. Youth football, high school, college at Cincinnati. Go Bearcats. And now we're both living our NFL dreams. But I gotta tell you, nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared me for the day my brother started dating a woman who could literally write a song about me and make it go to #1. Taylor covers her face laughing while Travis shakes his head in mock embarrassment. Jason's grin widens as he continues. Taylor, I just want you to know, if you ever need material for a breakup song, which you won't because my brother's a good man, but if you do, I got 35 years of embarrassing Travis stories. I'm talking about the time he cried watching The Notebook, the time he practiced his touchdown celebrations in the mirror for 2 hours, and don't even get me started on his high school poetry phase. Travis calls out Jason, no, from his seat, but Jason is just getting started. Oh, we're doing this now? Taylor, did you know your husband wrote haikus about football cleats? I still have them somewhere. The crowd is in stitches now, but Jason's tone begins to shift slightly. But in all seriousness, watching Travis fall in love has been something special. You see, my brother has always been a guy who could charm anyone, coaches, teammates, reporters, pretty much every human being on earth. But with Taylor, it was different. Suddenly, the smooth-talking tight end who could negotiate anything was nervous about sending a text message. Jason pauses for a tender moment as he looks at the couple. I remember the first time he brought Taylor to a family dinner. Mom had been cooking for literally 3 days straight. Not because she was nervous, but because she was convinced Taylor Swift needed to experience every single Kelce family recipe in one sitting. Dad had practiced conversation starters about music theory. And me? I had prepared exactly 0 Philadelphia Eagles jokes, which if you know me, is basically impossible. The crowd chuckles as Jason continues. But you know what happened? Taylor walked in, hugged everybody like she'd known us for years, complimented Mom's lasagna, talked football strategy with Dad, and then proceeded to absolutely destroy me at cornhole in the backyard. And that's when I knew she was perfect for our family. Jason's voice becomes more emotional now. See, what people don't realize about Travis is that underneath all that swagger, all those touchdown celebrations, all that confidence you see on game day, he's got the biggest heart of anyone I know. He's the guy who remembers every birthday, who shows up when you need him, who will literally give you the cleats off his feet if you need them. Travis wipes his eyes as his brother continues. And Taylor, from day one, you saw that. You didn't see Travis Kelce the football star or Travis Kelce the celebrity. You saw Travis Kelce the man who still calls his mom every Sunday, who cries during dog movies, who practices his touchdown dances because he wants to bring joy to kids in the stands. The room grows quieter and more intimate as Jason looks directly at Taylor. I've watched my brother achieve incredible things. Super Bowl championships, records, Pro Bowls. But I've never seen him as happy as he is with you, Taylor. And honestly, I've never seen you as relaxed and genuinely joyful as you are with him. Jason pauses, his voice full of sincerity. Taylor, thank you for loving my brother the way he deserves to be loved. Thank you for embracing our crazy family. And yes, we are crazy. Any family that thinks throwing snowballs at games is appropriate behavior is definitely crazy. Thank you for bringing out this version of Travis that we always knew was there, but maybe the world didn't get to see. A standing ovation begins to build as Jason continues. And Travis, my little brother, and yes, I'm still calling you little brother even though you're 6 feet 5 inches. I am so proud of the man you become. Not just a player, not just a celebrity, but a man who found love with an incredible woman and isn't afraid to show the world how much she means to him. Jason raises his glass as emotion in the room peaks. You two have shown us all what it looks like when two people who are already complete find each other and become something even better together. You've given us relationship goals. You've given us iconic moments. And honestly, you've given me the best sister-in-law I could have asked for. Plus, now I can say I'm related to someone who's won more Grammys than I have Super Bowl rings, which is saying something. The crowd laughs through their tears as Jason continues. So here's to Travis and Taylor, to a love story that started with a friendship bracelet and led to forever, to two people who found each other in the chaos of fame and chose to build something real and beautiful together, to my brother, who finally found someone who laughs at his jokes even when they're not funny, and to Taylor, who found someone who will dance to your music in the kitchen at midnight just because. Jason's voice rises to finale. May your love story continue to inspire millions. May your home always be filled with laughter and music. And may you always remember that no matter how big your careers get, family comes first. And Travis, if you ever hurt her, just remember, I know where you live. I'm bigger than you, and I have an entire city of Philadelphia behind me. The crowd erupts as Jason raises his glass higher. To Mr. and Mrs. Kelce, now let's party like we just won the Super Bowl. The reception explodes into cheers, applause, and celebration as the camera captures Travis and Taylor embracing, both laughing and crying simultaneously. The script ends with the crowd toasting and the newlyweds sharing a kiss as Jason grins proudly in the background, having delivered what might be the greatest best man speech in wedding history.